LSU's athletic director praises Lane Kriffin and criticizes Brian Kelly for their respective results. LSU outlines cultural reset following Kelly departure and Kiffin arrival. Brian Kelly's time at LSU ended without the ultimate prize. The program hires coaches to chase a national championship. Even though he finished with a respectable 32-14 record, his tenure unraveled after a disappointing start to the 2025 season and growing unease behind the scenes. According to LSU athletic director Verge Osbury, the problems weren't just about wins and losses. He suggested that Kelly never fully aligned with what makes LSU unique, pointing to a widening gap between the head coach, the fan base, and the community around the program. Osbury emphasized that LSU now wants a return to a more traditional, fully engaged leadership model. He referenced a Saban model approach, where the head coach is not only focused on football, but also deeply involved in building relationships with everyone involved in the program. It's going back to the Saban model, Osbury said. That means running the whole program. Then you have to go do some things with alumni, do things with boosters, and do things with fundraising. He's not one who will say, okay, I don't want people to contact me. I don't want people to touch me. That's who we had. That's why we got what we got. There was no feel. There was no connection between the LSU football program, the coach, and the fans. Reports and anecdotes from inside the program painted a similar picture during Kelly's tenure. Some former players and staff described a culture that felt less accessible than in previous eras, with stricter boundaries around facilities and limited informal interaction. Even recruiting was said to reflect that distance, with claims that Kelly was often not directly involved in conversations with prospects, relying heavily on staff to manage relationships. Over time, critics argued, that approach made it harder for LSU to compete against programs that prioritized personal connection as much as performance. Lane Kiffin brings a more connected vision to Baton Rouge. With Kelly gone, LSU has shifted its focus to Lane Kiffin, and early messaging from the administration suggests a deliberate cultural reset. Osbury praised Kiffin's willingness to engage more openly with all parts of LSU, from fans and alumni to donors and former players. That level of visibility, he suggested, is exactly what the program had been missing. The expectation is that Kiffin will take a more hands-on role in shaping not only game strategy, but also the relationships that surround the team. Former players are already set to be more present around the program again, spending time at facilities and reconnecting with the team environment. LSU leadership views that renewed access as an important step in rebuilding a sense of shared identity that had weakened in recent years. On the recruiting front, the hope is that a more personable and present head coach will help LSU regain ground nationally. College football success increasingly depends on relationship building as much as tactical expertise, and Kiffin's reputation suggests a more modern, open approach. While expectations remain high and pressure is constant in Baton Rouge, there is a belief that this change in tone could stabilize the program. With Kiffin in charge, the program is attempting to reconnect its football identity and once again re-establish its football culture.